Welcome back. This will be the last interview we do for today. I was telling Arne I had saved the best interview for last, but that's not the truth. Now that we have Mark here, who's a director of R&D for faytech, I can say we have saved the best interview for last.
Oh, no.
And with that, welcome and thank you for joining us, Mark.
Thank you, Michael.
Well, thank you. So my first question is, well, I've actually lost my first question. It was going to be really funny, but no. The first question was, how is it that you've been at faytech for a year now, and how is it that you came to know of faytech? How is it that you thought to join faytech, and maybe let us know a little bit of your past experience as well at the same time, if you could.
I knew faytech through one of my ex-colleague.
Okay.
Kevin, who worked with me in Microsoft hardware. And actually he was the previous director here.
Oh, I didn't realize you knew him. He was a very nice gentleman. I remember I had a lunch with him a couple of times.
And I'm very experienced in technical topics, especially software. And he turned to me for consultants on some of the very difficult software topics.
So that brings up I'll try and remember it for later, but actually I won't bother. My long-term memory when doing interviews like this is really bad. So I'll just jump into the next question that pops in my head, which is, everyone who's watched our videos will know faytech is a hardware company. Mm-hmm. We're very hardware oriented. I mean, we're display professionals. Yes. Yeah. So how do you find adapting as a software guy into a hardware company and hardware culture? Is there a difference?
I'm a hardware guy. Hardware does not only include the hardware, it also includes the software inside, which we normally say firmware. Yeah. So we have software inside the hardware, and which makes the finished product. My previous background was all about development, product development from storage devices like a hard disk drive to consumer electronics to industrial control devices.
So when you say like storage, you're talking about like SSDs and hard drives?
Hard drives, yes.
Hard drives? So the old magnetic hard drives?
So I would say I'm myself a hardcore hardware development engineer.
All right, well you throw everyone for a loop when you say software, because most people that I know don't think of firmware as software, even though you're right. So, all right, so you've been at faytech for a year or around thereabouts. You joined, I think, around March last year. So what changes have you made? What have you done since you joined the company that you'd like to tell us about?
So before I joined, I actually consulted for Calvin on some topics. I know that actually gave me a glimpse of what products this company do, and does it match my interests. And I found out that it is a good company to work, and the products is very interesting. And after I joined, some of the major improvements I do is about the hardware development guidelines. I improved the development process by introducing peer review for the designs, which eliminated unnecessary hardware changes, and we use the minimal development cycle to achieve the final customer goal. For example, the NEC customer, we did it with one PCBA release, which is very unusual for such a complex system. The other improvement is that I used my skill in software management to push ahead our platform development, of which is Android and Debian release for our board. We successfully released the first Android release in last year, November. And then after that, we did the first mass production for Germany. And the Debian release, formal release, is also released this year, early this year.
So previously you were at Microsoft for quite some time, and then you came to us. But again, and I've asked this question before. I don't really like to repeat questions to everyone, but it's a theme, I guess, today, because we had JY in here earlier, and he'd worked at LG before, and you've come from Microsoft. I have to imagine that the scope and the scale of the companies compared to faytech is very different, which would lead to some changes or things that you might notice. So I'm wondering, what you'd be able to comment on, and how you've seen the differences between a large multinational like that and a smaller multinational like ourselves, and how you've kind of navigated that, and the positives of that or the negatives, whatever you have.
Well, I have been exposed to a very broad view of industry, not only Microsoft. I know big company and a small company, the biggest difference is about the risk management. For example, I give you an example. For a company like Microsoft, Apple, when they ship the products, they ship in millions units per year. For small companies, you don't have that scale. That means if you ship 1 million products, you cannot allow to ship with a single defect, which causes the customer user experience. For smaller companies, we emphasize on fast delivery to meet the customer requirements. However, we have the flexibility to negotiate with the customer on the feature changes, on the quality levels. That is what the flexibility we have. So the difference is, I would say, is about risk management.
So you mentioned one thing though that from there that I like, or that I want to kind of delve a little deeper into, which is, you mentioned that in a smaller company such as ourselves, you end up talking with the customer more, or being more. So
exactly.
So I would ask then.
Exactly.
So do you find you're more customer facing now that you're with faytech than as opposed to working with Microsoft?
Sure.
Yeah.
For Microsoft, when you define a product, you have dedicated focus groups from the marketing, product management. They did all the front-end researches. They recruit audiences from different groups and get their
And now you've got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tested out
because I walked the show.
From ID, user experience, emotion, whatever. So when they define the product, they look at every aspect. Yeah. That means, as a R&D manager, you don't get too many often with the end user, right? Everyone can be a user around you.
So would Microsoft let you do shows? Did you walk a lot of shows with Microsoft, or did you get a lot of outside exposure, or were you kind of left in your box?
Not really a lot of shows. We do have some quarterly business reviews. Then maybe you walk up to the stage, introduce some of your departments, your achievements, your experience learned. And the other opportunity is that when you trying to initiate some program inside the organization, you try to persuade everyone. That's the culture, and that is how leaders perform. I mean, that is the area we often persuade the internal customer, not directly.
Not trying to influence the external customers.
No.
Like what we're trying to do in a video such as this, which is try to communicate that's one reason why I did these videos is, we're a multinational company, but a lot of our most key parts, such as yourself, are kind of tucked away here in China, and not everyone's going to get a chance to meet you. So.
Yeah, in a sense, really working at the faytech give you more exposure to the end customer. That's true.
So you mentioned about leadership and company leaders in Microsoft. So now I kind of want to segue into leadership. You're a company leader here. What do you view your role as the head of R&D and as a company leader here at faytech? What do you think your roles and responsibility are to help lead us into the future? Every leader has his own leadership style. So as a technical leader, my style is try to lead by influence. I don't lead by authority. I always say that I'm just a senior engineer in this company. No much difference than you. And everyone should work for the success of the business. And this is my leadership style. I don't seldom give direct order, you should do it this way. On the contrary, I would say, why we should do it this way? Why this is better, this is worse, and what are the pros, what are the cons? Yeah, we try to make a decision in this way. And the other thing the leader should do is actually identify those people with leadership in your group and try to grow them. And gradually it will become a culture in your organization. Is that something that you've learned yourself over time, or is that something from Microsoft, or how did you come to this leadership style?
Leadership is I would say is some of the leaders are born. Some of the leadership can be trained.
So were you born or trained?
I think
a little bit of both?
I'm in between.
In between? Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So another common theme of the interviews has been the multicultural aspect of our company. So not only are our customers all over the world, but our company and especially our leadership group, the focus of this week. Today we had our leaders in here for our management meeting. Nobody's nose was broken, so that was a good thing. I think anytime you come out of these type of meetings with all the different department heads and there's a harmony that exists, I think that's a good thing. What do you think about the multicultural makeup of our company, and do you think it helps us as an entity when we're working with our customers overseas, and for you in your role as R&D?
I would say I'm a very liberal person. I'm tolerant to many different views. Yeah, so I don't necessarily think multi-culture is a good thing or a bad thing. I see it as a neutral thing, because sooner or later the world will be only one culture. Sooner or later you will have a moon culture, a Mars culture, and an Earth culture. And sooner or later you will have a
Do you like Star Trek? Do you like Star Trek, by the way? Have you ever watched Star Trek?
I watched some of it, but a long time ago. I almost forgot.
Yeah, well, I grew up watching. I mean, when I was a kid, it was, are you Star Wars or are you Star Trek? And I was both. I like Star Trek because of what you say, the you know, the multicultural becoming monocultural. I see that as a historical trend. I don't know whether that's going to really happen or not. I think that it will, but yeah, to your point.
Yeah, I think culture is neutral. It's a
So
neutral.
not a Trekkie. You don't have any Spock ears at home.
No.
It's okay. It's okay. So, all right. Again, keeping in kind of theme with the rest of the interviews that we've done here, I generally ask this as a last question. So I'll end our interview with this question, which is, you know, at faytech, we are involved in a lot of products and a lot of different markets and industries, and we're always trying to be cutting edge. And you are the cutting edge of the edge in R&D.
Thank you.
So I'm wondering what product or technology we have that we're working on or that you're involved with that you can talk about, are you the most excited about or most interested in?
I would say the AI products, which is the camera rail project, has a very good potential of becoming a a business growth.
Yeah, the corporate types always like to say game changer.
Yeah.
It's a game changer, which is probably the most overused words nowadays.
And
but yes.
on the other side, I'm a very down-to-earth guy. I trust the physical laws, and we are also challenging some of the physical limits with our outdoor products. That is also exciting.
Okay, yeah, I love the outdoor products, again, because optical bonding, the elements, I think technically those are probably harder products to make. A lot of the comments I get from customers are, you know, they work with other companies, but they had issues once the products got in the field. You know, the products were good internally, but not in the field, and then they come to us and we solve some of their problems. And I think like our Volkswagen charging station is a good example of that, you know, being made for outdoor and rugged use. All right, so except for the AI, is there any other cool things that you're working on that you've got under the hood and that we should look forward to?
About the strategic planning, I would reserve it a little bit because I are still working on that. Maybe we leave it to the next interview. How about that?
All right, I'll keep your word to that. And now I'm going to ask you the very, very last question I'm going to ask you is, where can you get the best Sichuan food in Shenzhen? And what's their best dish? What's your favorite dish there?
That's bad for me. That question.
But you're from Sichuan. This should be your most the easiest answer.
I don't find lots of Sichuan restaurants near the area I live. If I have to pick a place, maybe it is in Bao'an, town center.
Okay.
I tried once.
And have you ever found good Sichuan food in the U.S.?
In U.S., when I visited Seattle 10 years ago, maybe, I often go to a restaurant. The name is now Sichuan. I think the taste is quite original. I still miss the taste there. I think I kind of think U.S. is a place for good food because it has so many variations. All the culture can be found in U.S. Yeah,
the food there is pretty good. When you were in Seattle, did you ever take in any sports? Baseball? I think they used to have a basketball team. They have a hockey team now. As a Canadian, I like that.
Yeah, I'm not a very active person in sports that might injure yourself. My most favorite hobby is actually sports. I would say is hiking mountains.
Well, in Sichuan,
That give me-
in Sichuan there are a lot of mountains. There are a lot of mountains here too.
I like hike high mountains, like above 3,000 meters.
So what is the tallest mountain you've ever climbed?
I would say it is not a completely hiking. Sometimes I take some shortcuts, but the highest I believe it is a little less than 6,000 meters, 5,000 meters something. Yeah,
And where was that?
that was in Sichuan, the Dagu Binchuan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my family have been there. I have not, however. So
You should be there. That's a very nice place to be.
I'll try. Now that we have a place there, I have to go back more often. So
Yeah, and you can also take a vacation around that area because
well, I don't know about vacations. At faytech, we never sleep, so I don't know about taking vacations.
Yeah.
We have to work.
below the mountain, actually the altitude is not that high. It is about 2,000 meter. You don't experience the plateau reaction. It's a very nice place. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're going to post a link or something for it. We'll let people figure out where that is, and they can check it out. That'll be very cool. All right, Mark, thank you very much, and to our viewers out there, thank you for watching, and we will follow up with some more videos. I think we've got one leadership video here at faytech left to shoot, and we'll also have more exciting product intros and company news coming to you in the future. So, thanks.
Thank you, Michael. My pleasure to be here.